Hello, it's Alan from Parker's here, and today we're going to be talking about surveys. For many of us, buying a house is probably the biggest purchase that we'll ever make, and having a survey gives us the peace of mind that what we're buying is in good condition and it's worth it. So, what is a survey? Put very simply, a survey is an expert inspection of a property's condition, and it identifies any problems to a prospective buyer. That is it. That is the best definition of a survey. A survey should be carried out by a professional. Usually, 9 times out of 10, it's a chartered surveyor, a member of the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. They are property professionals. They have indemnity insurance, and they are the people that are best placed to carry out a survey. So that really is what a survey is, but there's different levels of depth into which a surveyor can look at a property. So let's now talk about the different types of survey that are available to us as home buyers. Okay, so there are 4 different types of survey, 3 looking at the property, the 4th is what's called a mortgage valuation survey. If you're buying a house with a mortgage, the lender, the bank, would like to know that you're buying at the right level, you're not overpaying for the property, and also if the worst was to happen, i.e. you lose your job and the bank has to sell the property, could they get back the money which they lent for you? Now, most people with standard loan to values of 70%, the bank will send a surveyor around to the property to do a visual inspection to make sure that the purchase price is correct, and also they might pick up on anything horrific like subsidence or anything like that. If you've got a very small loan to value, so you've got a big amount of cash, for want of a better word, you're only borrowing a little bit, banks probably, especially in these COVID times, would probably do a desktop valuation, and that's done by looking at comparable properties that have sold nearby. But the mortgage valuation is one, and it's only really done if you are getting a mortgage. For the other 3 types, I thought we'd get in the trusted Parker's Mini, go and have a look at some of the houses and talk about the sorts of surveys that each property would have. Come with me. Okay, so we've talked about the mortgage valuation survey, but now specifically looking at properties, there is 3 types of survey. Condition Rating 1 survey is used predominantly for new build homes or very recently constructed homes. It looks at anything glaringly obvious, and it also looks at potential sort of legal issues as well. But Condition Rating 1 surveys, they're not really used too much, but other than on new build properties. The second type of survey, and probably the most common type of survey, is the Condition 2 rated survey, otherwise known as a home buyer's report, and it's the sort of survey that I would get if I was buying a house. Designed for not new builds, but also not anything over 50 years, so anything that's sort of under 50 years, you'd have a home buyer's done. The survey looks at virtually everything in a cursory and a holistic approach. So it looks at electrics, plumbing, the roof, the windows, the guttering, the landscaping, proximity to trees, in addition to everything else that the Level 1 condition survey looked at earlier. So, Condition Rating 2 survey, otherwise known as home buyers, the most popular, and it looks at everything. The final of the condition rating surveys is the Condition Rating 3 survey, otherwise commonly referred to as a building survey. This is for properties that are far older than 50 years in age, and the survey is very in-depth. It looks at the condition, it advises on repairs, and in some circumstances on upkeep and maintenance as well. So the third of the conditions surveys is Condition Rating 3 building survey for older properties. Okay, so back in the office now, we've looked at the various sorts of surveys required for different properties. After the survey, whichever one you've chosen, the surveyor would send you, probably about 5 to 7 days after the event, a report. Could look quite daunting, it's a number of pages and it looks at everything that the surveyor has inspected. Broken down into a traffic light system, green being great, condition rating 1, nothing for you to worry about there. Condition rating 2 or amber, nothing to worry about just yet, but in 5 years, 6 years, there might be some maintenance that's required. Case in point would be guttering. Condition rating 3 or red, the most severe condition rating. Very easy for home buyers to get panicked. Oh, we've got lots of condition rating 3s. You don't necessarily need to panic. My advice would be speak to your estate agent. Surveyors are surveyors, they're not electricians, they're not heating engineers, and nor can they look under the road at drains or under the property at drains. So all of these 3 things will be given a condition rating 3. The electrics, you can get an electrical inspection carried out for about £200 that gives the bill of health for your electrics, and that will turn the condition rating 3 into a 1. And the same with a boiler service for the boiler. But that's it. We've looked at why a survey is important, we've looked at the different sorts of surveys, and we've had a brief chat now about the surveyor's report. But I can't stress enough, speak to your estate agent with regard to the surveying report. Often condition rating 3s, a couple of broken tiles, are very easy to rectify and turn to a condition rating 1. I hope this has been informative. Feel free to give any of the Parker's offices a call, and thank you very much for watching.